What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Tonight we're gonna be... Oh, fuck, I hit the thing. Tonight we're gonna be going over M. Benz's ridiculously simple questions, flat earth questions or something? I don't know. Basically, he's responding to the criticism that he got from a previous video, which I'm sure that we're gonna go over at some point. But it was about sunlight and how the sun works and basically his model. So there's going to be a lot of telling things in this particular video. So I hope that you'll stay tuned to see how M. Benz is wrong about the sun and wrong about why he needs a working model, because he doesn't think that he actually needs a working model. I have to M. Benz, if you watch these videos at all, I have to say your intro, your intro music is the best elevator music out there. I have to say it's awesome. Oh, Phil. Yeah, it it does. Philosophically, Godless wants to know, where do babies come from? I'm just gonna go ahead and assume this is a shitty ass science. Babies come from when you do the anal sex and the stuff gets pumped, the water. Now, it's got to be water because, as we all know, only healthy people come water. So it's when you come water inside the asshole of another person and then you have the butt baby and you basically shit it out the hospital. That's where babies come from.
That is wrong.
That is not wrong. That is totally legit shitty ass science answer. Oh, sorry. Let me do that real quick. Hold on, I gotta turn her mic around. Remember to speak up. And
I'm sorry that I'm not as loud as you.
That's okay, honey. I'm sure people can still hear you. All right. Philosophically Godless, why doesn't my cum taste like water? That maybe you should talk to your doctor. I don't know.
Why are you drinking that?
What? Yeah. Anyways, all right, M. Benz. Let's see. Chrismer says, I want to support you as well as get a nice new little emoticons that's only available for me. How can others support? Hold on. How can others support you as well? Hashtag not sponsored. By becoming a member on the channel. Become a Skeptic Mafia member. The more Mafia members that we have, the more emojis we can get. But I really got to get into the video, so I'm sorry if I missed your question.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is M. Benz back with another video for you here today. And today, I'm doing 1.5. That 1.5 on the first video I did, answering ridiculous questions. Now, I didn't know that this sunlight video was gonna cause quite the controversy that it had. People arguing, I bet you they're still arguing right now down in my comment section on that video. But so yeah, so let's talk about that. So a lot of people, I get a lot of comments of, oh, that doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense, this, that, the other thing doesn't make sense, and we're gonna talk about a little bit of that. I mean, I can make a whole 2-hour video trying to answer everyone's questions, but obviously that's not realistic. So
I like how a 2-hour fucking video is unrealistic for him. Like, that is crazy pants. Like, there are people that do 2-hour live streams, and that's like the minimum kind of live stream that these flat earthers do. So don't tell me that you can't take like a Saturday afternoon, spend 2 hours streaming all of your crazy nonsense. By the way, you actually haven't like said anything yet. Like, there has literally been nothing for me to comment on, and we're nearly a minute in. Because you have literally you have just said a whole bunch of just nonsense words that I guess fill time and air. I mean, I don't fucking know.
Let's go ahead and jump right into it. 1.5 answering these questions. So we're gonna talk about Golden Husky's comment. Shout out to him for not being a troll and being the first one down on my comment on this video. So that's why I'm bringing this up. Again, shout out to him, Golden Husky. He said, one, what force holding and rotating the sun and the moon? Will flat earthers ever have a working model? Because the spotlight sun, or spitlights, let's say spotlight sun, does not work on the current one. So, yeah.
Okay, so to address the comment that he's reading off of, it's very important that the models don't ever work. in order for you to say that the current model is wrong, you have to have a competing model that explains shit better in order to prove that it actually is wrong. This is important in scientific discussions for you to have alternative hypotheses or alternative theories that explain shit better, because that's actually how you change minds and that's how you change the consensus. What all you're doing here is you're saying is what all he's going to do in the video is basically throw his hands up and be like, I don't fucking know, because they don't know. They can't explain shit. That's why in any flat earth argument, all you have to do is ask them questions. That's all you got to do. You don't need to actually respond and like tell them why they're wrong or anything like that. You can literally take them down by just asking questions. Although I will say that it's best to have explanations on your side and to be able to explain your model. And sometimes I fail at that, but other times I'm better, and hopefully tonight I don't fuck it up. But here it is, foreshadowing. I'm gonna fuck it up, I'm sure.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody is perfect. Thank you, honey. I love the support you give me every day.
You're welcome, baby. That's why you're gonna wife me.
Yeah, it is why I'm gonna wife you. Yes, wife you hard.
Appreciate your questions. That's came up a lot is what forces rotating the sun? What's the sun powered by? This, that, and the other thing, and so.
Okay, so he's going through like a whole list of questions that are thrown at him, like what is the sun powered by? And on the heliocentric model or the globe model or whatnot, the sun is powered by fusion. The sun is made up of mostly not helium. Fuck, told you I was gonna fuck up. I know, honey. I'm correcting myself. The sun is mostly hydrogen. And then fusion occurs and meshes 4 hydrogen atoms together to create helium. And in that process, a little bit of matter is transformed into pure energy, and that's emitted as a photon, as light. And by the time the light actually gets out of the super dense core of the sun, it's just the visible spectrum that you really see. Although I will say that, you know, the way that we can actually look at the contours of the sun is by, you know, looking at the various different wavelengths of the electromagnetic waves that are being emitted out of the sun. We got 0132132. Fucked up, GE. You done fucked it up again. Hydrogen and ain't helium. I know. I done fucked it up.
We also have Gary White, who's the here.
Yeah.
What is your favorite team?
My favorite team is the ball team that doesn't lose. That is the one that I love the most. So that's the sun, and that's what it, like, on our model we have answers. We can explain to you like why the sun emits light, how we know the sun actually is doing fusion. Now, if you guys don't know about fusion, fusion takes a lot of energy to happen. For one thing, it takes an immense amount of pressure, which that's given by the sun's massive size. And then, you know, when the fusion actually happens, neutrinos are emitted. And the neutrinos aren't inhibited by the dense core of the sun. So as soon as the fusion occurs, the neutrino is emitted. And by the time the neutrinos actually get to Earth, you know, it's been the 8 minutes that is a normal travel time at the speed of light for neutrinos. So that's how we know fusion is happening at the sun. So we know that at the center of the sun, it's got to be at least 100 million degrees Fahrenheit in order for that fusion to happen. And because the fusion is happening, we know that it's more plasma on the sun that actually it makes up the sun. So, like, this is how we know all of these things about the sun. And he is pretty much just wiping all that out. It's like, I don't know what the sun's made of. I mean, I read shit on the internet and stuff, but, you know, my just doesn't make sense. So
to start off with that one is, here's the difference between heliocentric enthusiasts and flat earthers. Flat earthers do not claim to know everything.
Gotta stop it right here. Globeheads say flat earthers are stupid. Flat earthers be like, living upside down, round oceans, monkey people. Okay, so, like, evolution, which is the monkey people part, has nothing to do with the shape of the earth. Albeit, I mean, most people, most flat earthers are not going to be, adherents to evolution or the evolutionary theory. But the whole living upside down thing in round oceans that is directly related to it. Obviously, nobody lives upside down because in a three-dimensional space, the up and down is relevant to wherever you are in that three-dimensional space. Round oceans, obviously gravity is the answer there. The earth has a massive amount of gravity that keeps everything on the earth, and the reason why the earth has to be so big in order for it to actually hold everything on is because gravity is the weakest force, and so it takes a lot of mass in order to have enough gravity to hold everything on. So I get that he wants to laugh about shit, but you're basically laughing at somebody that's just smarter than you. Not even smarter than you. Normal amounts of intelligence. Huh?
Plasma?
Yeah, plasma, like the stuff in your... No, not the stuff in your blood. Although, shitty-ass science GE would be like, oh, yes, see? Basically, the sun is a living thing. It's got plasma that's, like, in your blood, and it's coursing through the motherfucker, and that's what produces light. That's why you got the chakras that shine out of your fucking asshole. Yes, that's what chakras are. JC, $5. The sun has gravitational lensing. So does Earth's minor lensing, but still has it. Can he explain why the Earth has a small effect on the bending of light? You're gonna get an answer, JC. I don't want to ruin it just yet, but I'm just saying he's got an answer for you. You're not gonna like it, but he cannot answer that question.
We are saying we are open to learning some new things, and we are open-minded, which makes us flat earthers in the first place. We are not like heliocentric enthusiasts who say they have an answer for literally how everything works on this flat plane.
Fuck, honey! We have answers, and that's bad! I don't know why it's bad, but apparently having fucking answers is horrible shit! So he's calling us heliocentric enthusiasts. Those are normal fucking people. Okay, M-Benz? Hold on. NASA finds me if I don't wear this fucking hat. So normal fucking people, M-Benz, are what you're talking about, the heliocentric enthusiasts. So I like how he tries to paint us as like enthusiast type shit, and that's just ridiculous. Okay, so sorry, I had to reorient myself after my little spaz. Fuck.
You missed a super Dan for hate.
Oh, Dan, thank you for the super chat. I'm so sorry I missed it. I didn't mean to, but I'm drinking Copper Lager again. I bought like 4 fucking 6-packs of it, so I've been working on it for like 3 weeks now.
Thanks for catching.
Yeah, Josiah, thanks for catching that. And then we got Klaus Schumer. Does that mean when crap on ground equals crap attack? Does that mean when crap on ground equals crap attack? Fucking sure. I don't see why not. Okay, so he's trying to say that the difference between the two is that we have answers for every question that you might have, at least in this, like, at least for the purposes of the conversation of whether or not the Earth is flat. We have answers for every single question that they have. He went searching for them and found answers to his questions, and he is mad about finding answers. That is what he's fucking mad about. You know, when I find answers or I'm proven wrong or anything, I'm fucking happy about it. Unless the person's a dick that proves me wrong, then it's a little sore thing.
I
But
don't know, you get kind of pissed apart your screen.
well, yeah, that's because I'm not good at writing, and you know that, and you're just blunt as fuck about it.
On here on Earth, they say they have an answer for the way everything works. Unrealistic. I don't see.
When water curves, so does the sun's reflection. I have no fucking clue as to what this meme is supposed to point out. Obviously the reflection curve. I mean, I don't understand the point of this meme at this particular point in the video. Unless you're trying to disparage the idea that light can curve over the surface of the earth, which it's actually refracted, and that causes the curving of the light. And I mean, I'm guessing that you know that because you looked at all the links and everything everybody sent to you, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you could explain it in 1.75.
That experiment we saw where the lake curved with the water
Yeah. Yeah, there's a laser beam experiment where if you shine it at if you poke a hole, right, in a water bottle, and then you you poke a hole in a water bottle, and then you're shining a laser through the hole that you just poked from the other side, and you can trap the laser beam inside the stream of water as it's draining out. And that's the basic idea behind behind fiber optics. Whoa, Reese C! Take KC out to dinner. Oh, you know, I do that like at least every other weekend.
Thank you, Reese.
Thank you, Reese. I appreciate that. So hold on. I'm gonna have to pause. Hold on. I got a thing set up. Need to change a little bit. Maybe that'll help with people hearing you talk. Okay.
Search for test studies and experiments done on the sun and stuff like that. So all this hoopla, the sun's being powered by this and that and the other thing, and the Earth's rotating, and that's why the sun moves throughout the sky. And the sun is this much times bigger than the moon, but the moon is this much closer to the Earth, so they appear the same size in the sky. All of it just smells of convenience. Every answer that is in your textbooks, in your science books, it's convenient. Convenient.
Let's put this into perspective real quick. He went looking for answers to the questions that he had. He read the answers to them, and they were easy answers. And he's complaining about how fucking convenient they are. Like, it's not convenient. Like, it's conveniently placed for you because you were easy to find them. But they're all perfectly explainable. And the sun is 109 times bigger than the Earth, okay? That's not exactly a convenient number. The actual mathematics on a whole lot of shit is very ugly and messy, so it's not convenient. And yeah, we live in a great time right now where the sun and the moon, from our perspective, are the same size in the sky. That's why we can see the full eclipses. But, go a little ways into the future and we won't be able to see like the full corona of a solar eclipse because of how far away the moon will be. So yes, right now is a great time because the moon is the same size as the sun. Earlier, in the Earth's history, the moon would have been closer to the Earth, and it would have been way bigger than the sun, and we wouldn't have been able to see the eclipses like we see them now. So yeah, I like how he finds answers, and he doesn't like the fact that they are easy to understand. Like, the fact that they are easy to understand and people have been able to explain it to him where he can understand it, he's like, oh shit, well fuck me, if I can understand it, this shit ain't right, okay? It's gotta be confusing as fuck. We gotta have so many fucked up physics equations and everything. I don't even know what fucking physics is.
JC asked if your log, what kind of lager is. I love lager, but never.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. Copper Lager is Budweiser that was aged on real Jim Beam barrel staves. What says on the label? On the label it says on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's really good. I mean, it's tasty. It's got a real earthy kind of taste, I guess. But I mean, I would try it if you can find it in your area. 0132132. Wear protection after that dinner with KC. we don't partake in the protection. We don't need to. Okay. Let's continue with M-Bins.
We have an answer for everything. Now, us flat earthers, we're not saying we have an answer for everything. I mean, I don't know what's powering the sun or what the sun is made out of or how the sun is moving across our sky or flat plane, but I know that the celestials, stars, sun, moon, everything moves across our flat plane. We do not move around it, it moves around us. Now,
first, please recognize the fact that time for pancakes is here.
Time for pancakes is here. Damn. Welcome, Time for Pancakes. I appreciate you being here. Let's see. Hold on. I removed something and I really shouldn't have.
Peachy said, "Holy shit, pancakes! You're still alive."
Okay, so, fuck, I forgot what he was saying here. Hold on, I'll have to back up.
Flat plane, but I know that the celestials, stars, sun, moon, everything moves across our flat plane. We do not move around it, it moves around us. Now, how?
Okay, so just grasp what he's saying here at this point. What he's actually saying is that he knows that everything moves around us. He knows that the heliocentric model is wrong, but he can't actually explain to you why everything moves around us or why the heliocentric model is wrong. He is just steadfast in his position that it is in fact wrong. So, I mean, at that point, you have to question, like, his reasoning. Like, if you're convinced of something without any kind of evidence, like empirical or otherwise, I don't understand how you can really come to truth with that. Like, I don't understand how he can sit there and be like, listen, I know it's all bullshit that we're orbiting around the sun and the Earth is rotating on its axis. I can't explain to you why it's bullshit, but it's fucking bullshit. So I would have to ask M-Benz here is like, so if everything was like, if the heliocentric model is correct and we are rotating, what would we actually see in the sky? I'm fairly certain that he would think that, like, the stars would, like, fucking shoot past us and shit because he doesn't understand, like, relative motion. But I would just have to sit there and ask him, like, what do you think it would look like? Because I feel like these people have a very basic, fundamental misunderstanding about what it would actually look like on the heliocentric model. And, I mean, I haven't figured out why they think that way other than the fact that they have an IQ of 35.
That's happening, us flat earthers don't know. Now, if there's a flat earther who could tell me how and why, I've searched it up, I've done my research, I cannot find any explanation on why this phenomenon happens. But
okay, so scientificism. I don't know if this is a real meme that he uses or whatnot, but just scientificism. Scientificism. So the sun has light coming out of it. It's hitting the Earth. It's saying light doesn't bend, sea level either, but then it has a huge arrow that's like the light just sort of stops, flips a bitch, and just nosedives kamikazes right into the fucking ground. And then I guess you're standing in the middle of the air. You're in low Earth orbit looking at this shit happen. I don't know. And then there's reality and perception. Like, the very top part, first of all, I don't know what scientificism is, but that is nothing that actually happens in reality. So you're building a straw man argument with this meme. And the straw man is that is not what science says, and let alone, I guess, scientificism, whatever the fuck that might be.
I don't know. 80 said that picture is not to scale.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that's not about that picture.
But it does happen. And see, here's a good thing is we don't have to have an answer. I'm not religious. I'm not super crazy religious. I'm gonna break out the Bible on you and start reading verses and
Okay, I feel there's definitely a God coming on here, like, because God, like, the earth is flat because God. Anytime anybody prefaces what they're about to say with something like this, it's like, I'm not racist, guys, right? But you know something fucking racist is coming out of their mouths later. Just saying. Klaus Schumer says, wonder if he fell out of a plan he will miss Earth. Plane, yeah. He probably will. NZ Pure, get a box of Tuao Pale Ale. It's a Kiwi beer and it's very nice. Oh, okay. I'll have to see if I can find that. I don't know. I'm very limited. I'm in North Alabama. I mean, honestly, it's like Budweiser and Natty Light that is the predominant ones around here.
Out flat earth in the Bible. I'm not that kind of flat earther who's going to bring the Bible up on you to prove flat earth. But if you do believe in a creator, you must say some things are just not explained. And some things, maybe as humans, we don't have to understand how they work. We don't have to understand how everything works. Now,
I mean, it's a bit nuanced there. Do we have to know how everything works? I guess we don't have to know. Like, I mean, I don't have to know quantum mechanics in order to get my ass to work. But at the same time, it's pretty fucking awesome that we can investigate shit and we can learn shit. Let's see, Chrismer says, Godless Engineer, you can buy beer online, plenty of beer stores. That's a good point. I'll have to see about that. Nana says, Bud, really? I'm so sorry you have shitty beer. Well, it's okay. Look, it's because I'm a diabetic and I have to drink light beers. Bud Light is like one of the lightest. Sans like Michelob Ultra.
The fewest carbs.
Well, it's got the fewest carbs, is what it is. So, like, I mean, I could drink like 3 of those for every one of these. So yeah. But anyways, so yeah, it's pretty cool that we can investigate that. We can figure out how things work, because the reason why we have things like nuclear reactors, we have cars, we have so many things, like fucking the computer you use, the goddamn phone that you have right there sitting in front of you, the clothes on your back, every fucking thing now is because we fucking science the shit out of reality, and we learn how to manipulate it, and we learn how to create things that are new. So I like how he's like, we don't have to know everything. It's like, oh, okay, the person that doesn't know a fucking thing about electrical engineering holding that goddamn, I don't know, it's probably an Android, is what it looks like. I don't know what it is. It's a phone.
I know some people in the comment section is going to say it's a cop-out answer. Oh, God, this and that, whatever, creator. I'm not saying it's I can at least admit, say, I don't know. I don't know how it moves across the sky, what force it is, and all this other, hoopla that heliocentric enthusiasts think they know the answers to. I don't know, but I know that what I observe when I look up there is that everything moves around us. We do not move around it. If we were moving through an infinite space and the Milky Way galaxy was doing all these crazy speeds, and we're doing these crazy speeds, and we're going around the sun in these crazy speeds, we wouldn't get phenomenons like Halley's comet and the same constellations in the sky. We wouldn't be able to predict these shooting star phenomena. We wouldn't be able to predict those because, again, we're moving through infinite space and we're never going to be in the same place twice.
Sorry, heathens. My fucking, I forgot to, focus my camera so that it didn't fall asleep on me.
That was my bad, sorry.
Well, I mean, I started out the video with it, and, I fucking forgot. Sorry about that. I know everybody asked me, like, why is it shut off like that? It's because I bought the wrong camera. That's basically what it boils down to. Okay, so I want to stop him here because the entire reason why we can predict Halley's Comet and why we know that Halley's Comet comes every 75 years is because of the heliocentric model. Like that's why we know all of that shit. Like that's why we know that Halley's Comet is on an elliptical orbit around the sun. Huh?
You ready for a joke?
Yeah.
Gregorius Danelli, Godless engineer. Two chemists walk into a bar. The first says, "I'd like a glass of H2O." The second one nods and says, "I'll have a Bud Light too."
That's a good one. Thank you. So basically, what Mbens is not getting here is that is relative motion. He doesn't understand that we are in the sphere of influence of the sun. The sun is dragging us along with it. It's got a very large sphere of influence, and actually I believe it's Voyager 1 and most recently Voyager 2 just left the solar shield of the sun. So it's very, very large, and so we're moving all in concert with the sun. And he doesn't understand relative motion. He also doesn't understand the fact that stars very, very far away are moving as well, but also they're so far away that our movement is not going to be readily visible to us, like in a night or something. Like these flat earthers want these stars to be moving like every night a new set of constellations. If that were the case, then we wouldn't have been able to like navigate by the stars when we were first venturing out on the seas. So he doesn't understand relative motion, and that's basically what this boils down to. Halley's Comet is very interesting. I have a link down below for that, as well as all the other shit that I've talked about here tonight. So definitely go and check that out. But he's totally wrong about like the fact that we wouldn't be able to predict Halley's Comet. We can, and it's because of elliptical orbits and the heliocentric model.
Throughout the galaxy. So again, that right there just kind of disproves the heliocentric model in itself. I know people try to throw that one back on me, but that disproves the heliocentric model in itself.
No, it doesn't. Like, I get that your straw man version that you have in your head that you think is reality disproves the heliocentric model, but that doesn't actually disprove if anything, Halley's Comet helps prove the heliocentric model. Like, that's one thing. Like, if the heliocentric model was fucked, then Halley's Comet, we wouldn't know how the fuck it orbits.
Because the reason why we see the same phenomenon in the sky every night, and we can predict these different celestial phenomena, is because it is moving around us at a certain pace, and you can plan and predict ahead for that, not going through an infinite galaxy where we're never in the same place twice.
Okay, but the fundamental thing that he's not getting is that the reference frame for the solar system is the entire solar system. Okay, just the entire thing. And Halley's Comet is in the solar system. It's got an orbit that it goes around. That's what he's not understanding here. And I would love for him to explain to me exactly how you can calculate Halley's Comet, like coming through every 75 years, given that we're stationary. I would love to see that fucking math. Because you need, in order for Halley's Comet to like go in that circle that it does, you need gravity. Gravity is essential to that. And he can't explain it without gravity, but I would love to hear him explain Halley's Comet without gravity, without the heliocentric model.
But it's kind of getting beyond the point. But yeah, man, I mean, I guess you could try to say, oh yeah, we're stumping you, flat earthers, and blah, 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 and because you guys don't have the answer for A, B, and C. That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not knowing everything. I'm okay with that. I'm just telling you what I observed. So if you look at the sun rays, if you know anything about basic geometry and you trace the sun rays back in the sky, you can get a relative height of where these trajectories are coming from, and it points to a close and localized sun, not a 93 million mile away sun. That's not what it points to whatsoever.
Don't fucking invoke geometry to me. That's our word, motherfucker. Don't invoke geometry. You don't know shit about geometry. I would love to hear a geometry lesson from you. I would love for you to explain parallax, which proves you wrong. Parallax is how we can determine that the sun is actually 93 million miles away. You can measure the angular size of the sun from two different locations with a known distance apart. You can measure that shit, and then you can do the calculations through geometry and trigonometry and all that other kind of shit. You can figure it out.
Mark Beiser said, Godless engineer, but the argument from nuh-uh doesn't require any justification.
Yeah, the argument from nuh-uh does not require justification. You are fucking correct, sir.
You can take a regular old plain picture at the beach of the sun and its crepuscular rays and draw angles, use a pencil, draw angles back up to that point does not point to 93 million miles away. And how there's been footage and photos out there of hot spots on the clouds.
So the hot spots that he's pointing at, I mean, that's just reflective water. That's all that is. Like, it's nothing special. I mean, it's just water. It's been proven time and time again. Oh, we got a new member, Jay Thompson. Everybody put emoticons in the chat. Just fill that shit up right now. Just fucking all of them right now.
How does that happen if the sun is 93 million miles away and infinite?
Okay, so both of them are real. It's just that the left side is actually looking at the different wavelengths that the sun emits, like gamma rays, X-rays, and all that other shit. Like you can have, like, the satellites, they take pictures of the sun on the different wavelengths because, you know, on the visible light spectrum, it's way too bright for any kind of thing. So you take the pictures and you assign colors to the different spectrums of light, and that's what you're seeing here on the left. How did they manage to go very near the sun and use a camera to film it? Telescopes, motherfucker! Telephoto lenses. There's the Epic satellite, it's the Epic camera. It's the Discover satellite. Sorry, another fuck up. I know, invalidates my entire lecture here tonight. But the Discover satellite, it's there to actually take pictures of the Earth from very far away. And the reason why we can get the moon and the Earth in the same picture is because it can fucking zoom. You would think that this motherfucker would understand the properties of zoom. And then it says, and why is it not that bright? Because it's not on the visible light spectrum. This is a fake sun, is made out of magma. Nope, it's plasma, completely different. What up, NZ Pure? Everybody put emoticons in the chat. Welcome aboard to the Illuminati train.
Times bigger than the Earth. There would be no hot spot on the clouds. It wouldn't happen. It will be impossible on a sun that's 93 million miles away. So those things right there point to me that it's a close and local sun. Perspective, light poles.
Perspective. Again, that's our fucking word, okay? JC says, for distance beyond parallax, we use standard candles. Oh yeah, that's true. Like for distant galaxies, we use standard candles to measure, because you can measure using the speed of light is what you do at that point. Parallax, I mean, you can't use parallax for like the stars in the sky or whatnot. They're way too far away. Parallax would work for something close like the sun or the moon or the ISS, which I believe Red's Rhetoric actually did that. But again, it's not just perspective. Perspective can only go so far. Like, perspective can explain a lot of things, but it doesn't explain why things disappear over the curve.
Okay, you look at light poles. I guess that means when you see the furthest light pole down, that means it's curving around the Earth. No, that just means it's going away from your perspective. If you drive up closer to that light pole, you can see it. And then the next row of light poles will look the same way. And then you drive up and it'll be right there, just the way you saw the other light poles. So again,
I don't know the purpose in that little bit. Like, it seems to be like it seems to fucking be just a random thing that, like, of course, if you drive closer to a light pole, it comes back into view, or you know, you're like it clears up or whatnot, or you can see it or some shit.
All Story wants to know what candle power is the sun.
I mean, I don't know what candle power the sun is. Oh, okay.
Candle power, like how many candles?
Oh, okay. Shitty ass science. I got you, bro. Okay. Now, the standard candle power of the sun is pretty massive. I mean, normally your Mustang has like 400, horsepower or something. I don't know engines, but the sun's got like 55 million candle power. Probably more, probably trillion. 55, we'll go with trillion. 55 trillion candle power. You put one of them some bitches in your living room, it'll never go out. We got a new member. Everybody, like, I know everybody's already doing it already, but I'm just gonna go ahead and fucking fill it up. Boom. Thank you for becoming a member of the Skeptic Mafia, Stefan Brickery and NZ Pure. Well, I already said NZ's name, so yeah. All right.
And folks, just because we don't have an answer for every single thing out here does not mean the answers that we do have are incorrect. It just means we don't have the answer for every single thing that is out here. And I'm willing to say it. I mean, some flat earthers don't want to admit it, egos or whatever. I'm willing to say it. And I'm glad we can have these kind of debates. I'm glad I can make these kind of videos. I can bring this up and we can have these kind of debates. And
okay, so I'm glad that he recognizes that he doesn't know everything, because even in science, we don't know everything, okay? So, I like that he admits that, but at the same time, he's being contradictory. He's saying that, oh, we don't have the answers to everything, but here's the answers to just about every fucking thing. Like, we know these things, but we don't know how we know those things. Like, it's a really weird fucking contradiction that I'm noticing a lot more since I first noticed it.
One of our new members tonight, NZ Pure, said apparently the sun is 98,000 lumens per square meter.
Oh wow, 98,000 lumens per square meter. That's pretty awesome to know. Thank you so much for looking that up.
And the second question is, will flat earthers ever have a working model because the spotlight sun does not work on the current one? Okay. So, I heard this a lot too. I assume working model, they mean a map, how the sun and moon travel across the sky and stuff like that. So there's been videos, pictures of the sun, not just doing a circle, but doing like
Okay, so yeah, a figure eight. In case you guys don't know about these particular kinds of pictures, these are the various positions of the sun throughout the year. They put the camera in the exact same position, and they position the photos in the sky so that it shows the actual movement of the sun throughout the year. And this is proof of two things. One, the orbit of the earth around the sun, and two, the rotation of the earth, as well as the tilt of the earth. Because, throughout the year, it's the rotation of the earth, causes the sun rise and set and everything like that, but like the tilt is what causes it to go up and down in the sky, and then as you're orbiting around it, it's gonna appear differently, and that's what we see.
Philosophically Godless just got back from the store and would like you to go back 20 minutes and start there.
I can't go back 20 minutes, dude. Rewind the shit. That's why there's replay available. All right. Love you, Godless Iowan. Philosophically godless, but he's the godless Iowan that's using it.
But he philosophically godless.
Don't misgender me. No, sorry. I didn't mean to. Anyways.
Figure eight loop around certain continents and stuff like that. I believe, and I'll probably put a picture up of it, that the map has been altered to what we believe. So what you guys believe and hear in school and read in school and stuff like that, I believe that the map has been altered. That is not the correct map. That's not the correct layout, the correct landscape. Even the AE map that all the flat earthers like to use, I have it in my profile picture. Yep, I do. But even that AE map, I do believe is incorrect. I believe the land masses aren't where they should be. There may be extra land masses. They may be closer. They may be farther. I don't know. Obviously, I don't have the resources to get high enough or survey the land to get a correct map. But when you have people at the top who control these things, am I going to believe that their map is 100% correct on the globe model? No.
All right, AJS says, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. Thank you, AJS. I appreciate your kind words.
Apparently, Jaren says you're not a real engineer.
Jaren says I'm not a real engineer?
Well, Jaren's not in the chat, but some Azozeo
yeah,
in the chat said that Jaren said you're not. Let him know.
Oh, fuck. Gotta send me that, like, I don't know if you can link it in here or something. Tweet me the link where he says that. I would love to get that particular thing. Oh man, that would be awesome to hear. Anyways, so basically this motherfucker thinks that the maps that we have, like the land masses, like where we know them to be, are not actually where we know them to be. The sizes are not correct. I mean, he totally neglects the fact that before we like could see like the entire Earth, we were able to map the entire Earth. Like, I mean, we've been able to map shit. Like, this is not fucking hard. We've been mapping shit for a while. And yes, you're trying to tell me that maps were more accurate back when we had less information. I mean, that's literally what you're telling me right now. We had less information, and therefore they were more correct. And then as we got more information, they got more distorted. Now, granted, when you try to transfer a spherical globe, when you try to transfer a sphere onto a flat plane, you're going to get some distortions. That's why a lot of different projections exist. So yes, those maps aren't going to be exactly correct. Each projection has its own positives and negatives about it. But I mean, for the most part, like Australia is where the maps say it is. If the maps were wrong and they didn't represent the reality of where shit was, airplane travel wouldn't be possible. Any kind of traversal over the Earth, regardless of whether it's flat or not, would not be fucking possible. So you're trying to tell me that these planes magically can find where the fuck they're supposed to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for clearing that up, honey.
You're welcome.
The AE map is based off the globe model, so if that started out incorrect, obviously the AE Gleason's map is going to be incorrect.
Hey, don't blame me for shit. No, there is a map that's called the Gleason's map that the flat earthers like to use, and I always get a kick out of it whenever they say that.
I mean, it just doesn't take rocket science to figure that one out. Obviously, this one's incorrect.
Look, rocket science is also another one of our word kind of things I don't think flat earthers can really use. I'm just saying.
They don't understand rocket science at all.
No, they wouldn't be able to understand rocket science.
Not even a little.
Correct, but this one's going to be incorrect if it's based off one another. So, will flat earthers ever have a working model? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know.
That is probably like the most honest thing I've heard come out of flat earther. Will we ever have a working model? Probably not. No, okay, so I get that you're probably not, and I like that you're on that particular trajectory, but it's the actual answer is no. You will never have a working model, ever.
As long as it's flat.
Huh?
If they don't have a spherical model, it's not.
Oh yeah, well I mean, if they have a spherical model, it's just going to be the heliocentric model, and of course that's the devil model, right?
I don't know, I hope by me making these videos, by other flat earthers making videos, by flat earth gaining steam, because it is gaining steam. It's one of the most searched topics on Google. It is gaining steam. Hopefully somebody out there puts a working map out there. I don't know. But I don't believe any model is working or whatever. You can find flaws in the Gleason's map and in the heliocentric map and the globe Earth map. You can find flaws in both maps. You can find incorrect or weird or whatever you want to call it flight routes on both maps. But again, that's because the AE Gleason's map is based off the globe, which I believe is wrong in the beginning. So
okay, so I get that he can find problems in those maps. He doesn't really specify what problems he can find, but I mean, I'll give him a pass, I guess, since he's been so ultra specific this entire fucking time. But as I said before, the projections of a sphere onto a flat surface will have some problems with it. Like there's one particular projection that gets land masses wrong of certain continents. There's one projection that gets the land masses correct, but then it has different positioning issues. And so you basically have to pick and choose which ones work best for what you're trying to accomplish or what you want to teach people. Or to give them a better view of what the Earth actually looks like. So, I mean, each one does have its cons about it, but, I mean, it's a trade-off.
So, again, I mean, some people say that the Gleason's map predates the globe and stuff like that, but either way, I don't believe that any map is right. I don't believe that there's any... I believe that we don't quite know how the map and everything stacks up. So when you try to predict sun movements, or you say... The sun movements don't make sense for people in Australia, and Australian people tell you, oh yeah, the AE map does not work how the sun circles. I'm not gonna be the one to sit here and show you the circling sun. I've done it before, but I've done some research, and I will tell you that I cannot show the circling sun anymore because that's not correct. Circling sun is not correct.
I'm so glad that you cleared that up, Benz. I really am. So basically, here's a solution. Okay, everybody, are you listening, honey?
I'm listening.
Here's his solution. The circling sun and moon over the AE map model doesn't work according to whatever kind of research he does, right? Doesn't work. So basically, his solution is to be like, oh, well then all the land masses are completely different places and situations, and they're different like areas and stuff. I mean, that's his solution. Since
it's a logical flow, honey, from one thing to another.
One crazy frickin' idea to another crazy frickin' idea.
Logic.
Logic, that's our word. So Josiah Hansen had a super chat. Oh-wee, ting tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting tang, walla walla bing bang.
Do you not know how, like, rhythm works?
No,
oh.
It's been stuck in my head for 2 days. Now it's stuck in everybody else's head. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Around a flat plane. And again, we don't know the way the land masses are arranged. So again, I don't know how the sun moves across the flat plane and how the land masses are spread out. So
anybody else catch that bitch slap he gave the table?
Will flat earthers ever have a working model? No, but neither do heliocentric enthusiasts. So again, it puts us back at square one. Now, as far as the sun goes, I still believe, based off the evidence that I've done, the research that I've done, I cannot say the sun is 93 million miles away, an infinite giant ball of burning fire.
Did you just say that the sun is an infinitely giant ball of burning fire? The sun is not infinitely big. It's 109 times bigger than the Earth's diameter.
You know what this makes me think of?
Huh.
The Lion King. Like Lion King science.
Lion King science?
Yeah, you know when like
I was thinking it's the circle of life.
Yeah, you know how I don't know, like
I could sing.
The one lion is explaining to the other, or Timon and Pumbaa are explaining like science to him, and so it just reminds me of like... Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
Gas up in space somewhere. I cannot say that because it.
Okay, so I forgot to say, the sun is plasma that's mostly hydrogen that uses fusion to create helium atoms, and of course produce photons and neutrinos. That's what the sun is. It's also not infinitely large.
Does not make sense. The seasons, the way that the Arctic and Antarctic are two totally different climates, but they shouldn't be because they're apparently at opposite points of the Earth. They should not be two totally drastic different seasons if the sun is.
Why? You're saying these things like, oh, it shouldn't be this thing, but you're not telling me why it shouldn't be that thing. You're just making a baseless assertion with no evidence to suggest that it shouldn't be. On the heliocentric model, as he would say, but just a globe model in general, it would be explained by the tilt of the Earth, and by the rotation of the Earth, and by the orbit around the sun. Because when the Earth is facing more towards the sun, it's getting more direct sunlight. The angle at which the sun's rays are being deflected off the surface or whatnot is much more acute. Whereas when it's doing the gangsta lean away from the sun, it's a lot more obtuse in its angle, and so therefore it's cooler. So in the southern hemisphere at that point, they would be getting the more acute angle of deflection from the sun. So I mean, we have explanations for it on the globe model, if you will.
93 million miles away. And people say, how does the sun light up the moon? How does the sun light up the moon if the sun is local? Well, there's been videos out there, and I'll try and find one and put it up. There's been videos out there where it shows that sunlight is actually colder than moonlight, than the regular light that's coming out. That people have tested the temperature of the moonlight and it's colder. So if the sun is
okay, everybody after this stream, type into Google into YouTube, Greater Sapien Moonlight Experiment. Put that in there, go find his moonlight experiment, and it will show you that the moon has frick all, Xander's in the room, frick all to do with like the cooling of stuff in the on the Earth whenever the moon's out. Because he, in his experiment, he did it both with a full moon, or with the moon out, rather. I don't know if it was full or not, and with a new moon where there's no moon in the sky. So, and it still had the same amount of change or whatnot. Then he tried different other things. But anyways, go and check out his video. It's very good. It's a very good experiment. But basically, when you're in the shade or whatnot, or you got a covering over something, right, the radiant heat that is emanating from all things on the face of the Earth is being trapped, and thus is warmer there than in the open air, where the radiant heat is allowed to escape upwards due to convection, and it keeps. I mean, that's what.
Did you get Terrence Clark?
The
sun is a.
Oh no. Terrence Clark. The sun is a miasma of incandescent plasma. Yeah, I would say. I mean, it is plasma. Yeah. Thank you, Terrence. So yeah, I mean, that's just a quick explanation as to why the moonlight is not colder. The moon is actually reflecting about 10 to 12% of the sun's light, so that's why it's not like as like bright, I guess, and it's a lot softer of a light. It's because it's only reflecting a small fraction of the sun's light.
Reflecting off the moon, that's how we get our moonlight. Why is it colder? It should be warmer. Am I correct? It should not be colder. So
if you understood how heat works, you would frickin' understand why you're wrong about this. All you have to do is understand heat and how heat transfers from one medium to another. That's all you got to understand about it.
That being said, I mean, you cannot conclude that the sunlight is reflecting off the moon, and that's what gives the moon light if the sunlight is, or the moonlight is colder than the natural air that's not in the indirect moonlight. So again, folks, everything, all the evidence points to me a close and localized sun. Now, until someone shows me any different kind of proof, and I've clicked on all your little links. I've watched a couple videos you guys posted in my last video of links and stuff people posted down in the comments, but nothing's telling me that it's a 93 million mile away sun. Nothing's confirming that. They're only strongly confirming my perceptions that the sun is close and local.
Okay. So basically what he's admitting to here is suffering from confirmation bias. He is suffering from, what's that? Fuck, I can't think of the term right now. Shit. I'm trying to think of the term where you are exposed to ideas that contradict your own. And fuck me. Sorry, son. It's when ideas contradict your own ideas, and you and you reject the ideas that contradict yourself, and you stick with your own notions. I can't. Cognitive dissonance. Oh fuck! Thank you. Cognitive dissonance. Thank you. Everybody in the chat's like, cognitive dissonance, dipshit. Cognitive dissonance. He's suffering from cognitive dissonance, and he's using confirmation bias in order to stick to his own preconceived notions. And that's the what?
Gregorius said, "Code black." Xander knows a swear word.
That's the only thing I can conclude. So, appreciate you guys watching this video. 2.0, new topic up next. Hope I answers all your questions. If you guys have any answers, I don't got to tell you guys, but feel free to comment down below. Hit like.
Okay, so we're not going to do all that. We are going to watch this little black and white scene that he has.
Oh, how the sun spotlights and travels, and if it's all the way over here, you can't see the sun over there. I was going to show that, but I guess not. Even brought out the flashlight and everything, but spotlight. I mean, it's simple. I could see it here. I mean, I can't see the light over here, and if there's buildings and mountains and levels and elevations, you won't be able to see this light all the way over here. Like here, you cannot see this light on camera, but here you can see it. Spotlights. I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't know, but whatever.
This is literally how his brain fucking works. Frickin' fucking. Nana says just a fucking moron. I agree. This is how his brain fucking works.
He's probably shaking his head at you.
Yeah. All right, so that's the end of his video, and all I have to say about that last little bit right there is like freaking wow. I mean, I can't imagine like that being so. Like, I like how he was like, oh, I bought the flashlight and everything. It's like, oh damn, you spent $10 at Lowe's.
Who doesn't own a flashlight?
I don't know who doesn't own a flashlight, but also that's not a good representation of the sun.
I have like 10 flashlights.
I know. We're prepared for apparently flat Earth experiments.
The zombie apocalypse.
But, so I'm not going away just yet. I'm going to be going into comments and Skeptic Mafia stuff and everything like that. It's been an extra long kind of episode tonight. We're going to try to get through those kind of quick. But if you're going to be heading on out, you're not staying for the comments or anything like that, then I hope that you guys have a nice night. Don't forget to stand up, use your voice. Don't forget to smash that like button before you leave. And try sharing this out to a Flat Earth friend. And I guess we'll see you heathens later that are leaving. And y'all have a good night.